and welcome back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all having a good weekend so far. Today I'm back in the polytunnel and I'm getting myself organised to go and start planting outside. The weather's changed and it's got really sunny and it's time to get started planting out in the Victory Garden. So I'm planting out in Old Gordon's patch. The gentleman that used to live here before me, he carried on growing his veg up until he was about 96 or 97. And that's the patch I'm going to be starting off today. So I've done a couple of raised beds and I've got food that needs to go out. So today I'm going to be planting onions, I'm going to be planting potatoes in bags, and I'm going to be trying to plant out some spinach and some chard. And I'm going to put a bit of fleece over the top to try and keep away the cold weather to see if I can get them to grow outside, because they're getting a bit leggy indoors now and they really need to go out. So yeah, I'm going to be getting outside to do that. Coming up in the next video, just to give you a heads up, a lady asked me what you could do with a glut of carrots. So I've decided to do a video themed around that, and I'm going to be making carrot jam. I'm going to be making carrot marmalade and carrot jam. So if you're interested in that, do tune in for the next video. And I'm also going to be sowing some carrots as well as making the jam with some that I bought in the supermarket that were reduced. So that's what's coming up in the next video. But getting back to this one, I'm following Mr. Middleton's wartime guides, and part of the jobs for March is to get out into the Victory Garden and to start planting. So it's the end of March now and the weather's warmed up. We've got rid of the hailstones, everything's coming back nice and green, and it's just time to get things growing. So that's what I'm going to do today. My onions are sprouting nicely, so I'm just going to get them. These are the yellow onions that are ready to go out, and as you can see, they've got lots of nice green growth on the top, and they're just desperate to be out in the garden now, I think, and start doing their thing out in the soil. So these ones are Sturren, I think, or Stuttgarter, and then I've got some red ones that I think are Red Baron, but I'm not 100% sure. But this is what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to get my compost, I'm going to go and put some on top of the bed, mix it in with the surface of the soil, and get these babies planted. Also, if I can find enough fleece to go over the top, I'm also going to try doing my chard and my spinach and planting that out now, because they really need to get out. As I say, they've gone a bit leggy and it's really time to start getting things moving. So that's what I'm going to be doing today in today's video. If you're enjoying my videos, do like and subscribe, do hit that bell, that'll tell you when you upload new videos. I'm just going to get my bits and go out into the garden. So this is the onion border. I've got these hoops on the top and I'm going to put some netting over to keep the chickens out and the wildlife. I've got some compost. Now, it's said to sow it in rows. Excuse me. It says to sow it in rows, 6 inches apart. Bit awkward getting in, never mind. So I'm just going to throw this on the top, give them something to have growing. But the chickens will have a field day if I leave this open, and the pheasants, because the pheasants are quite active around here at the moment. So I've got red onions and I've got white to go out. So I'm going to do a block of red and then a block of white. It said 6 inches apart, but because I'm doing them like this and I can get into weed, I don't really need to do them that far apart. So probably be about 3-4 inches apart instead. Move the compost along and then mix it in with the soil a bit, loosen that soil. Now, I know a lot of people do no dig, but I have to because my soil gets so compacted. I can't grow here without got nice roots on them. Now, you're supposed to sow them up to the neck. I'll just bring you in a bit closer. Okay, so you want to sow them just up to about there to keep the birds out from pinching them. You can use a dibber, but they've got good roots on them because they had to start off in the tray, and they've had a good drink overnight because I left them out in the rain. It feels great to be getting things growing. Look at that, one's growing nicely. I've put chip bark on my path in between, so now I know everything was done in rows during the war, but because my soil is so wet, because we live at the bottom of a hill, so we get all the runoff off the hill at the back, and it's quite a tall hill, so these are growing nicely. I love red onions because they're nice and sweet, and I'm trying to only grow things that I know we'll eat because I don't want to take up space in the garden growing things that we won't. So I'm just going to finish these, and we'll come back when they're all sown. Okay, so I thought I'd show you how my bread making's going. These are my latest. I'm really pleased with these. They did really well yesterday. I kneaded them twice, folded them over twice, and this is how they came out of the tin. Look at the crumb on that, isn't that lovely? It is 3 cups of white flour and 1 cup of wholemeal flour. Then I used 150 grams of sourdough starter, a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a small sachet of yeast, brewer's yeast, you know, the bread yeast. I use these from Lidl, and they are 60p, 65p for 5 or 6 sachets. You get 7 grams. I used one of them, as I say, to 4 cups of flour. So I managed to get 2 loaves out of the one. I mean, look at the rise on that and the crumb on that. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Can't wait to have some of that for my breakfast. Going to have it with some homemade blackberry and apple jam. And these are the bread pans that I used. I got them off Temu. They're about £6 each, and they come with a lid that slides on like that. And yeah, you let your bread rise with the lid on inside. I find it's better to let it rise with the lid just sat on the top like that. And then if the bread rises up to the top of the lid pushes up. So I've also got, I bought a second tin the other day because I was finding that I was wasting too much flour, to be honest with you. And I think 4 cups of flour, that bread will do, this will do today and tomorrow. And then that will do Tuesday into Wednesday, and then I only made that yesterday, which was Sunday. So these 2 loaves will last 4 days, possibly into 5, and then I'll make some more. So it's just a really economical way of using up the flour, because before I was using 4 cups in 1 loaf and it just wasn't rising properly. But I found doing it this way, it rises really nice. And then I've got these bread making things that just go inside the bread tin, and it stops it sticking to the bottom. So yeah, this seems to be a method that's working for me now. The sourdough, I made another sourdough to put in a video, so I'll put that into a video for you and how I make my sourdough starter. But that's doing really well. So I've got 2 sourdough starters now. This is one of them. This is the first one I started. It needs feeding, but as you can see, it's looking really healthy and really nice. It's got quite a few bubbles in there. This is the one I used the other day. And then this is the one I started for a video that I'm doing. Just a sec, I'll take the lid off. And this is the one I used for the bread I made yesterday. This is made out of potato water. You know, when you boil your potatoes, I use the discarded water, and yeah, I made sourdough starter with the water. And you just make it pretty much the same way as what you make ordinary sourdough starter. And yeah, you get a really good start, a really good thing, because I found using just water, it didn't rise properly. And I just keep it in this jar with this lid on, and it just lets the air in, so it keeps gathering mould. But the mould's in the atmosphere, so I'm really pleased with it. Can't find my lid off this jar at the moment, so that's why that's sat on the top. But yeah, it seems to work. So I'm just going to have a bit of porridge now, my war ration porridge, which is 2 tablespoons of porridge. And that's in here. I'm just going to pop it on now. And I'm going to pop a few grains of dried fruit in there, because that's how I like my porridge. And then I'm going to have a slice or 2 of my bread, and then that'll be that for my breakfast. And then I'm off to Peggy's. Right, I'll see you when I get back. Right, so this is my new seed storage box. It was suggested to me by down on the old Lottie, sorry. I'll pop a link to her in the description bar below. Well, she said that she keeps her seeds in a tin. Now, I was thinking, I don't really want to buy anything. I don't really want to go out and spend money, because the whole idea of the make, do, amend and the Digging for Victory garden and the frugal living and all the other things that I'm doing to save money, like cutting down on my food budget to grow my own food, is not to spend any money, to be honest with you, and to be able to save some. So I decided that I'd use this old box. It's an old BT toolbox, and I mentioned it in my last video. I haven't cleaned it up. I should really give it a clean. But I've put all my seeds in it. So I'll show you how I've got the seeds set up, in case you're looking for ideas on how to keep your seeds, because it's quite bewildering sometimes. You start out with 1 or 2 packets of seeds, and then before you know it, you've got old seeds, new seeds, seeds that someone's given you, seeds you've got at a seed swap. And look how much I've got. This is just my vegetables. They're my flowers. So yeah, you end up with quite a lot. So the way I've organised them, as it was suggested to me by Kelly on the older Lottie channel, was to set it out in months. So I've got these pieces of card, I've cut them out the width of the box, and I've just written the months on, January to December. And what I've done is I've looked at the back of the seed packets to see when you can sow them. Now, this one says March, so that one should be in the March section, but I've bought asparagus now, so I'm probably not going to sow them. But anyway, you've got your tomatoes, and tomatoes, again, that says March, but some of them are January. So there you go, February, early February, January, February. So I put them in January. So I do need to sow some more tomato seeds and some more cucumbers. And I was hoping I wouldn't have to, so they're in February. And then this section here is March. Now, there is a lot in March, an awful lot. There's all that in March. So this is what I'm working my way through. I've done spinach. I haven't done kale yet. I haven't done cabbages yet. I've got peas to do. I've done some leeks, but I want to do some more. So all those are all in this section here. And then things that need successional sowing. I need to do some more beetroot. So I've left them in March because I've done some in February, some at the beginning of March, and I want to sow some more. And then I get a successional crop as they age. And then moving on, done my broccoli and things. So that was March. And then we've got April, and this is the beans section, and cauliflower. I think I need to do some more cauliflower, so I'm going to put them back in March. I've got climate French beans, pumpkins, courgettes, kohlrabi. I need to do them again as well because the green haven't come up, but the red ones have. So yeah, there's fennel, runner beans, sweet corn, mange too, broad beans. I need to do some more broad beans as well, so we'll move them back into March. I want more than 11 plants. And then we move into May, and I've got all the set up for May. And then I've got June with my Swede and French beans and things like that. And then you go July, then you go August for the spring cabbages. You sow them in the autumn, late summer, early autumn. And then they go right the way through to December. So what I'll do is I'll sow my seeds. Once I'm finished in March, I'll then move them up to April or move them to the month, like with the tomatoes. You sow them once, hopefully, and then you don't need to sow them again. So then they go back to where they're supposed to be for next year. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working my way through. Like beetroot, you can sow right the way till, I think it's till August or September. I've got salsify as well, which is a winter root similar to a cabbage. I've got the winter radish. So they're just going to get moved along and moved along. And then eventually, once I get to the point where I can't sow them anymore, I'll just move them back to the beginning, like the broad beans. I can sow them up until July, and then I'll get a crop next year. So I get a flower and a harvest in April or May next year if I sow them in the autumn. So yeah, so that's just my plan. I'm going to sow some more of them. So that's my box. Didn't cost me a penny. I keep all the seed categories together, like spinach. If we've got, you find that you get more than one variety, so they're all in a bag. And then I've got all my kale, different kales in a bag, like walking stick kale, Nero de Toscana. And then I've got all my cabbages together. And then I've got my multi-packs of seeds that you get in the pound shop and things like that. And then all my peas are together. I mean, look how many peas I've got to sow. So speaking of peas, take them out a minute. What I've got for sowing my seeds, I found this. I've got a few of these. These were Gordon's pea planting boxes. So I'm going to pop some newspaper in the bottom to cover these big holes, pop compost in, and I'm going to multi-sow my peas and see how many come up, and sow the older ones first and see if I can get pea shoots. So that's what's going to go in there. There's also this thing around at the moment, which I'm going to have a go at, and I'll show you in the next video once I've got the hang of it. They're called seed snails. Now, what you do is you get a piece of bubble wrap, you lay your compost on the bubble wrap, you roll it up into a snail, roll it till it's round. You wet it, and before you roll it up, you wet it so all the soil will stick together. Not soak it, but wet it. Then you roll it up, tape it together, or put elastic bands around it, and sow your seeds. And you can get quite a few seeds into one small space. But what it means is that when the seeds are ready to be potted on, you open up the roll, and each individual seedling is ready then to be taken out without a load of soil. And really good strong roots. So I'm going to have a go at doing that for my French beans, my peas, and my sweet peas, things that need a deep root, and see how we get on. So when I've had a go this weekend, I'll have a go with you on Wednesday and show you what I'm doing with that, because I think it's going to be a really good space saver. I don't like taking up loads of space in the polytunnel. I'm already getting overrun with plants at the moment, and I haven't even started yet. So yeah, my tomato seeds and my cucumbers, two of them turned out. The market more turned out and the pickling ones did, but the dwarf ones didn't. They just got saggy and then they just died. And I think that was the weather, because I brought them out too soon and we've had a bit of cold weather. So they need redoing as well. I'll show you my seeds. I don't want to be ashamed to share with you my failures, because there's probably going to be plenty. But these are my tomatoes, just to show you that, you know, even sowing old seed, sow old seed, don't let them go to waste. And you may only get one or two out of them, but that's one or two you would have thrown away. So do have a go of sowing old seeds. These are old seeds. And I've got cherry red tomato. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 of them. I've got the Sun Gold, which my nan used to grow. So I'm really pleased they've come up because that was old seed as well. And I've got 6 of them. I've got Tigerella tomato, and I've got 3 of them. The Roma aren't doing very well at all. They are sagging, as you can see. So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on with them. But the stuffers didn't come up, so I'm assuming they're dead seed because I tried that last year and they didn't grow. So I'm just going to chuck them. And another mixed pack called Mascota. They haven't grown either, so I'm assuming they're not going to show their faces. Otherwise, they would have done by now. So they're my tomatoes. They're not doing too bad, I suppose. They're just starting to get their true leaves on them. And then these are my peppers. Look at the state of them. So yeah, I brought them outside in the hope that they might perk up a bit, but yeah, I'm not holding out much hope. I've got 2 cayenne pepper. I don't know why I wanted to grow them really, because I don't really eat them, but it's novelty, isn't it? So I thought as soon as I've got the seeds, I'll sow them. But I've got 4 cayenne pepper coming up there in that pot, and I've got 1, 2. I think maybe they just need a bit of drink. They look a bit waterlogged. Maybe I'll give them a spray, that might perk them up. But these ones, not doing very well at all. So yeah, I haven't had any melons come up, and some of the cucumbers haven't come up either. So I'm going to start them again. So I'm going to keep that tray out. But yeah, so you do get your failures, you do get your wins, but you just got to take it on the chin, haven't you? And pick yourself up and sow some more. So this is my seed thing for my peas, and I've got, let's see what we've got open. We've got Kelved and Wonder. We've got now these are from 2022 called Rapid. It says fast growing, sweet, tender, sow March to May. So we've got them. Then I've got some unopened packets, so we'll leave them. So I think I'm going to do these 2, and I'm just going to sow the lot and see what comes up. Well, mind you, there's quite a few in here. Oh, shoes. There's even less now. Right. Because the thing is, I could always grow them as sprouts instead of sowing them outside, growing them outside. If I wanted to. We'll see how many come up. But these are from 2022, so see how we get on. But there's no reason, you know, why you can't sow old seed. Even if you just get 1 or 2 things come up. At least you haven't had to go out and buy new. So that's the Rapid. I'm just going to grow them in this one. Pop some compost on. This has got a bit of perlite in it. Make sure the seeds have got good contact with the soil if you're new to seed sowing. And give your seed compost a bit of a drink before you sow your seeds. And then they're going onto damp soil. And then when you water them, they'll adhere properly to the conditions. So these ones are Rapid, and as I say, they are from 2022. There's virtually a full packet of seeds. There you go. I've just put old next to it so I know. And I'm just going to put 26th of the 3rd. There we go. Then I know what date I've sown them as well. So they just need watering, and then they can go in the little seed thing I've got, and I'll put something over the top to keep the mice out. So that's that. So I'm going to pop this on the top to keep the mice out and stop them pinching my pea seeds. So hopefully that'll work. Right, I think that's it for me for today. I've had a really busy day, and I've just made some cake and some scones. I thought I had a scone recipe for you, but I didn't. So I'll do a recipe in the next video. I know I haven't done any recipes for a couple of videos, but I've been really busy, so I haven't had a chance to do anything for you because I thought I already had one recorded for today, but I didn't. Anyway, do you want to see my knitting? Yes, Stripe. Do you want to play, do you? He wants to play. He's a bit bored. Yeah? Anyway, I think I'm going to go. I'm knitting a shrug at the moment, and this is the wool that I'm using. I'm using some Jacob wool that I've had in stash for ages, and I thought it might be quite handy in the spring for in the garden. I'll just turn you down and show you my pattern. There you go. This is the pattern that I'm doing, and it's called a tie shrug, and it just sits over your shoulders. Yes, Stripe, I know. And this is the wool I'm using. As I say, it's a nice Jacob wool, and I have 9 balls of it, so excuse the dog. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that done in the next couple of weeks. It's just rib stitches, changing from a 9mm to a 5mm needle periodically, and that's that. So that's what I'm making. So that's my plan now for the rest of the evening, to sit down, watch a couple of videos, catch up on some YouTube channels, and get on with some knitting. So the clock's changed tomorrow, and well, tonight actually, and we're going back into British summertime. Can't wait, really cannot wait. It's been such a long winter, and it's still cold, hence I've still got my woolly jumpers on, and I'm making a shrug. So yeah, just couldn't make it up really, could you? We should be getting warmer weather, but we're not. Anyway, yeah, the clocks are going to go forward tonight, which means I can get back in the garden until 8 o'clock at night now and get some work done. And if I can get it done in the next month or so, it means I'll get it done before the mid-years come back, which will be good. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, do like and subscribe. Do hit that notification bell, and that'll tell you when I upload new videos. And do go over to my Ko-fi page. There are some recipes over there. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, just for the price of a cup of coffee, then that would be very much appreciated. Anyway, I'm going to go. See you in the next video on Wednesday. We'll have a recipe and other shenanigans too. So I'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.